Welcome to the Path to Mindset Mastery. My name is Bizjack. I'm a mindset strategist and coach, inspirational speaker, and creator of Appreciation Academy. And I'm on a mission to help online business owners silence the negative self-talk going on up here that's holding them back from their biggest dreams so you can finally see the success you deserve. And I'm curious, do you ever get frustrated with people that seem so positive? Or do you even use happiness and positivity as a coping mechanism to numb the pain of your failures or what you're going through? Like you pretend everything is wonderful all the time when it's really not? And does it lead to feeling like an imposter or like a fraud? It almost seems fake to be positive if you have all these things going on. Pretending everything is okay when it sucks seems counterintuitive, right? And that's what I used to do. So if that's you, I can totally relate, and if that's not you, that's okay too. I was going through so much crap that I actually used positivity as a coping mechanism. It was how I shielded myself. I pretended that it doesn't matter what was happening, I could always be happy. That's how I would deal with stuff. And when I did that, people got really pissed off at me because I was being so fake. It led me to pretending that my life was perfect all the time. Have you ever done that? Like, here's how I used to do it, and tell me if you can relate to this. On the inside, I was dealing with major frustration because my business was not taking off yet. I was stressed about family stuff. I was doing long distance with Janice at the time, and I was in a job that was sucking the life out of my soul. And on social media, at the same time all this was happening, I pretended I had a great life. I pretended things were wonderful. I'd post hashtags like life by design or retired before 30 or all these things. And I'd post a picture about like the free vacations I've gone on with my company just to make it seem like everything was so amazing all the time. But on the inside, I was so stuck and so frustrated that I didn't know where to go next. And so, want to know what that caused with the people that were following me on my social media? Envy and anger, not inspiration. If I could go back and do it all over again, I would do it again from a place of being real because I didn't talk about what was really going on. People's bullshit meter is so high. They can tell if something isn't real. They can tell if you're just trying to put on a show. Have you ever done the sorority girl hip hop with your hands on your hips, leaning forward with a big open mouth towards the camera and just with this wide open smile, and you're like pretending you're laughing, ha ha ha, right? Like, and it's obvious to everyone and their mother that you propped the camera up on a dresser or a nightstand or a table and took 15 versions of the photo just to find the one that looked the best. It's not real. And people can tell. Sure, it might be a beautiful eye-catching photo, but there's other ways to do eye-catching photos that are actually real. Faking positivity isn't a good idea. Using positivity is a great idea. The biggest myth of positivity is believing that problems and pain don't exist and pretending that and showing that to the rest of the world. So what does that mean? Well, people are inspired by vulnerability, not bullshit. So think about what inspires you in my podcast episodes. Why do you keep coming back? Is it that I pretend life is jolly and I show how I just booked a trip here and do all these things and that I have it all figured out? Or is it because I show you the struggles and failures that I used to or still do go through? Obviously the latter, because you connect to real vulnerability. Like, want to know what people are inspired by and build trust through? Being real. They connect with the fact that you're going through anxiety and you're working hard to solve it because you know what? They likely are too. They connect with the fact that you filed for bankruptcy after 3 years of a financially successful business because you know what? They have money struggles too. They connect with the feeling disempowered or feeling judged by others because you know what? They feel judged by others too. Most people believe that being positive means you don't have problems, and that is BS. Being positive is not saying you don't have problems. It's not going to your garden and chanting, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds. That's BS. It doesn't make sense. There's a difference between saying you don't have problems and that everything is perfect and using positivity as a way to solve your problems. So what sounds more real? Option A, look at my pretty picture with my makeup done perfectly and my kids smiling perfectly and I'm on a beach and on the photo there's this life by design hashtag with some random motivational quote. Is that more inspirational? Or option B, do you ever struggle with X? Me too. Here's what I went through or am going through. Here's how I stayed positive during a really tough time, or I'm trying to stay positive during a tough time. Here's how I solved or am solving the problem. Here's what you can do to solve that problem yourself. And you insert a great photo with a real smile and a quote that inspires you. Which of those two situations is more inspiring? Obviously the latter, right? So being positive is using your problems as inspiration to help others. Because everybody has problems. The only people that don't have problems are dead, literally. If you don't have problems, you don't have a life. And pretending on social media that your life is wonderful, it's not building a business, it's hurting your business. So by solving one problem, you open up the door to another problem. Let's say that you have money challenges. If you, let's say, pay off your student loan debt, or you pay off a credit card, right? Well, that opens up the next struggle to paying off your student loan debt. Let's say you pay off your student loan debt. That opens up the next struggle to saving 6 months of expenses. Then once you do that, then you have the problem of figuring out how to invest so you're not taken advantage of by taxes and fees. And the problems keep going up and up and up. They get lighter and lighter, but you keep having problems. So pretending problems don't exist is silly, because problems are the best gifts you've ever received, because if you don't have problems, you are bored in life. If you have absolute certainty over everything and everything seems figured out and you just are good to go, then you feel bored and you don't feel like you're growing. You need problems in order to feel alive. So positivity is honesty. And hear me loud and clear. There's nothing wrong with feeling pain. I used to teach people that they could be happy whenever they wanted. And I was partially wrong about that, because you can be happy most of the time. But pain is a beautiful thing. Pain is going to happen in your life. Suffering from that pain, meaning staying in the painful spot, that's optional, that's your choice. But pain is coming. And if you're a negative person, that pain is going to stay in your life. And you're going to be more likely to pretend you don't have pain just so you're perceived better by other people. But if you're a positive person, you acknowledge your pain, listen to it, and then solve the problem using your positivity. Positivity isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about putting yourself in a resourceful state of mind to solve the problems in your life. It's, you know what? I'm going through some shit right now, but I have everything I need to get through it, and I'm so grateful that I have such an amazing support system as I crush this challenge. It's believing you can get through something tough. So I'd like to give you some tips on how you can be more positive in your life. So, my friend, what or where do you fall on this scale? On one end, are you very, very negative and tell the world about your problems? Or do you pretend you don't have problems? Or do you find the beauty in every problem? Where do you fall on that scale? Very negative about the world and everything you're going through. You pretend something's perfect, or you find the beauty in every problem. That's number one in how to be more positive. Number one, you find the beauty in every challenge. You find the beauty in every challenge because there is something. No matter how challenging the problem is, there is something beautiful about it. You just need to search for it. Napoleon Hill said, every problem has within it the seed of equal or greater benefit. If you live that, game over. So when you face problems or pain, the positive way to solve it is to stop taking the victim approach to life, which is, why is this always happening to me, or why does this always happen to me? And start taking the positive approach to life. What's the positive approach to life? It's simple. It's one question. Why is this situation happening for me? See the difference? One word. To me, for me. One word. You believe that problems are a good thing. And when you believe they're a good thing, you ask that more positive question, you're more likely to solve the problem, aren't you? Number two, and how to be more positive. Life up everything you do. Now, let me preface this by saying, this isn't pretending life is perfect. It's having some perspective and realizing that your biggest problems are probably someone else's dream. If you're stressed about the bank account overdrafting, is that actually a really big problem? It feels like it in your head because it's all you focus on, but it's not a big problem. You want to know what a huge problem is? Not having water, heroin addiction, losing your child. So have some perspective and realize that your problems are likely someone else's gifts. Because when you're focused on the problem all the time, and that's all you focus on, it feels so heavy, because wherever focus goes, energy flows. And focus equals reality to the individual, even if it's not reality in actuality. But you need to have some perspective and realize that your problems are someone else's dream. And if you do have those massive problems I just mentioned, then go back to step one and find the beauty in the pain, because then you'll find a way to get through those things. So how do you life up what you do? How do you do that? You command your brain to energize your life. So how do you do that? Well, for example, when someone asks how you're doing, how do you respond to that? When someone asks how you're doing, how do you respond? I'm okay. Oh, I'm just so busy. Today's just been so hard. Does that feel positive? No. In fact, people aren't going to want to be around you. Has today really been that hard, or do you still have a job, still have a house, still have your kids? Everything's actually pretty great. You're just exaggerating this shit in your head, right? So when you say, I'm okay, or I'm just so busy, or today's been really hard, it makes people not want to be around you. It attracts people playing life at a lower level. Want to know how I respond when someone asks me how I'm doing all the time? Want to know how I respond? I'm amazing, or I'm fantastic. Now, why would I do this if I just said that you shouldn't pretend life is perfect? Because saying that you're amazing isn't pretending that life is perfect. It's commanding your brain to feel a certain way. If you feel okay, are you more or less likely to solve a problem? Less likely to solve the problem. But if you feel amazing, are you more or less likely to solve a problem? More likely. So if you life up what you do, you're commanding your brain to feel a certain way. You change your emotional state and you give yourself the resourcefulness to solve the challenges in your life. And from the state of being amazing, can you still have problems and pain? Yes or no? Yes, you absolutely can. You're just going to solve them faster than someone who is just okay. Try this for a week. Respond with, you know what, I am fantastic. Or you know what, I'm amazing. How are you? You will be blown away. Seriously, blown away by how your life changes. I challenge you to do that this week. Number 3, accept pain. Accept pain. One of the best ways to be positive is to accept pain into your life. Quit making it wrong to feel negative emotions. When you make it a bad thing to feel negative emotions, you're saying that life should be something different. Life should be perfect all the time. And when you feel like you should be somewhere else, you make it wrong to be where you are right now. And when it's wrong to be where you are right now, the negative emotions get even worse, don't they? Like if you're focused on how you shouldn't be anxious and that's your focus, doesn't that make you more anxious? It compounds. And soon you find yourself pissed off at yourself for being sad, more anxious for being anxious. Right? But what would happen if you simply said, interesting, I'm feeling angry. Why am I feeling angry? You remove yourself from the emotion you're feeling. The emotion isn't wrong anymore when you do that. It's no longer bad. You can learn something from it. It can give a valuable lesson to you in how you pursue your life. If you remove the feeling of the emotion being wrong, isn't it likely to dissipate faster? So being a positive person is being someone who accepts negative things and uses them as a tool. In fact, if you don't have negativity and negative emotions and that stuff that happens to you, the positive stuff won't be nearly as rewarding. You just have to approach the negative stuff from a positive place. Does that make sense? And finally, number 4, be vulnerable. What do I mean by that? How is vulnerability positivity? Well, if you're growing a business, or if you have something you need to get through, teach what you are struggling with. Put that in big, bold letters. Teach what you struggle with. If you're struggling with positivity, teach people how they can be more positive. This is my entire Appreciation Academy program. It was me teaching people what I needed to learn, and then I slowly became those things. That's how I did it. So you don't pretend that your life is perfect, but share what you're challenged by, what you're overcoming, how you're overcoming it or overcame it, and share what they can do to improve their lives as well. Can you imagine the community of trust that you'd build with your followers if you had the courage to actually share what you're going through instead of pretending that life is always great? We all teach what we need to learn most. Think about this for a second. If you're struggling with confidence, from helping someone else build their confidence, what do you feel? Don't you feel better? Like you feel better and your confidence increases. So if you're struggling with confidence, it feels fulfilling to help someone else build their confidence, doesn't it? And from helping someone else build their confidence, what happens to yours? Goes up, increases. So if you're vulnerable enough to share the stuff you're actually facing and how you're going through it and how others can get through it, you become the beacon of hope and positivity for them. And they want to join you because they can actually feel that you're not bullshitting them anymore with life is great. I do this business at home and I make $1 million even though you're not doing anything with your business. Do you see what I mean? So be vulnerable. Teach what you need to learn and you will learn what you teach. Does that make sense? The best way to learn something is to teach it. If you follow these steps, it'll change your world. Positivity is not pretending life is perfect. It's a tool used to solve your biggest challenges because you all have challenges. Everyone has challenges. It makes challenges easier. Become a positive person and your life will change very, very quickly. So if you felt something real from this episode, or if you know you need to work harder on your own positivity, head to my website. There's courses, programs there to help you with this stuff. Share this with your team today. Screenshot this episode. Share it on your Instagram stories or your Facebook stories. Get the word out about this because it's so powerful. Share it with your whole team if you can and help every single one of them become a more positive person. If you're feeling really, really inspired and this is something that's like, yeah, I need more of this in my life, head to my podcast on iTunes and throw a review on there. The better the reviews on the podcast on iTunes, the more likely someone is to hear this and be inspired by it. So you and I are helping other people change their lives together. So thank you so much for tuning into the Path to Mindset Mastery. If you need a deeper dive, check out Appreciation Academy, game changer. But either way, I hope you got a lot out of this. My name is Brad Bizjack. Share this episode and go out there today and every day and live your life with a genuine smile on your face because you can. I will see you next week.